Yo, what is up, guys? It's Billy Schmo. Um, Most of you guys already know me. I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube, but I am making a effort to upload more now that I've kind of got a little bit more of a schedule. But yeah, Battle Hour 2023, guys. I am gonna be going over the entirety of the event and just my thoughts on it, and just again going over the whole thing. I'm probably just gonna be literally just on the menu right here, not really gonna be doing much, maybe just doing my dailies. But yeah, no, honestly, Battle Hour was amazing. I had an absolutely amazing time meeting up with the boys. We just had a great time. It was my first time meeting majority of them. I have already met up with Prof and Emoji in the past, so I'm already kind of familiar with hanging out with them, but it was my first time meeting Graz and Virgil and Sax and some of the other competitors too. But yeah, just honestly, I really did not expect it to be as fun in terms of Battle Hour itself. As fun as it ended up being. Going there really wasn't much of a large attendance. The first day, they only allowed the players to be there, so I, kind of expected there to be not as much people. They had fighters set up, so fighters was on the main stage. If you watched the event, you saw the fighters at the end. And then they had the card game going on at another venue, and then they had the Legends section. They had VR set up, so we could do like VR. It was FSK versus Gohan, I'm sorry. Gohan versus Perfect Cell. You were Gohan during the VR. It was really cool. They had like these life-size accurate, I want to say statues or diorama sections for Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. You obviously couldn't, touch them, but it was like roped off. But you could go next to it and take pictures and stuff. So that was really cool. Oh, they also had a breakers section. How could I forget breakers? Yeah, I mean, going there, the beginning, it was really cool walking around, going to everything. They had a display shelf of all the super card game. They had like all the cards in one display case, and it honestly was so cool seeing it because I like card games, and seeing the cards in person, the art that you see in images online does not do these cards justice, because in person they look so beautiful, and physically they honestly feel really good. They're like really like thick, well produced cards. So it kind of made me want to start buying the cards as a collector. So I think I'm actually going to start looking into that. But yeah, the first day though, we all met up. Well, we met the day prior to the actual event, but the first day we all met up outside of our hotel. We all stayed at the same hotel, different rooms, of course. We Ubered to the venue, which was literally only a 10-minute drive, and we got, you go in, checked in. They gave you your player your badge that you wore. And then you would go in, and they had like at the different venues there was things for you to do, and they would give you little like what's the word? Not like stamps, but just stuff that you would like attach to your ID card. And when you collected 5, you would go to like a goodies section, and you got a free bag with a free shirt, and it's just like a little prize thing. Oh, and a poster. We all got like a Battle Hour poster, so it was really cool. And then we got there around, I believe it was around 8 o'clock ish, and we kind of hung around the Legends section, of course, after we kind of walked around and checked everything out. There was a Budokai section for us to play Budokai, which, by the way, Budokai Tenkaichi returning, absolutely ecstatic. I'm pissed. I was outside actually eating when they announced it the second day, but just being there with everybody talking about it was ecstatic. It was crazy. So absolutely insane that we're getting another Budokai Tenkaichi. That was my childhood. But I'll go back into that in a bit. So we went to the Legends section. We eventually checked in, and they had the different pools that you were in. So I was pool 3, so I didn't start playing until 1 p.m. That time. And my first fight, so I'll let you guys know about my fight. My first fight, the player actually was a no-show, so I just got the default win for that. And then my second fight was against Sax, which he won his fight, so it was we were both 1-0. Or no, sorry, I lied. My second fight was not Sax. It was against Moji. So Moji and I had our wins, and I fought Moji. I beat Moji. Third fight was against Sax. I matched against Sax. Sax and I had some pretty equal teams. I'd say mine was probably just better, though, because of I ended up getting Blue Sparking Tien as a pick, so he couldn't really rush me. But the big unit that really impacted my fight against Sax was Purple First Form Zenkai Frieza. He had actually Scouter Vegeta, who was putting in work. Zenkai units are very impactful in this special pick rule, because if you weren't aware, it's 3 randomly selected characters, and when it's your turn to go, you pick a character for yourself, and then you pick the other character for your opponent. And a lot of times, because C-tier units, which are like Beast Gohan, just like Pan, all the most commonly used characters, there's no C-tier units. So it's only B through... I forgot what it was. It was like B tier and up, and then featured boost. And so Sax had Super 17, so we had the team paralysis, and that almost screwed me over. But I did pull through the dub there, so I was 3-0. And then so my last fight, which again, right, if you're 3-0, you're basically guaranteed a spot for the finals. So I go up on my last fight. I go on stage. It's actually against Grazdog. Grazdog record was 2-1. I ended up fighting. Graz actually had a significantly better team than me. I did have green Kaioken Goku though, and that was the only unit I had that was going to be able to put in work. So I had to really make it work with him. But Grazdog had literally a full Saiyan lineup. His Z abilities with just worked well, and because there's no equipment, Z abilities are going to be really impactful if you do get characters that have the same Z abilities. He had Blue Nappa, the yellow Death Buff Goku from the first Broly movie, and then I forgot what his other character was. It was another Saiyan. I forgot what it was, but anyways, so I did lose that fight. It was a guest rush, and I also didn't realize that the green Kaioken Goku doesn't have Blast Armor and Ultimate, so that really screwed me over. So yeah, but anyways, that's not besides the point, right? I did lose that fight, so Grazdog ended with a 3-1 record. I ended with a 3-1 record. Sax also ended with a 3-1 record. So in our pool, we were all tied. I figured because it was a tie, they were going to go into win percentages, and in that method, I would have the highest percentage because I had no losses going into my last fight, while Sax and Graz had at least 1 loss going into their last fight. However, that was not the case. The way they calculate it is that it's based off of your opponent's win rate value. So because I had a perfect record and Graz beat me, he actually got a lot of points, more than what it boosted him enough to the point where it actually dropped me a spot. Or 2 spots, actually, because I would have been in first. So that put me in third, Sax in first, and then Grazdog in second. And then, so Graz and Sax were the finalists from our group, and I was a standby character. Not character, player. So I was needed to show up on time the next day. However, I was not guaranteed to be in finals. It had to be if somebody was a no-show, then they pull me or whoever else. So yeah, there is that. It was great. Grazdog went up there. He did a really good job in his fight. Sax went up there. Sax kind of got screwed over on his picks big time. His opponent had LF MVP 17. And, Sax did a really, really good job with what he had. Just unfortunately, right, the nature of this tournament is heavily based on RNG, and he just couldn't do anything about it, No units to nullify endurance and rising rush and all that, so The winner ended up being Kid Joe YT. Really, really nice guy. One of the chillest dudes I've ever met. Kid Joe, if you do end up watching this, congrats, man. You honestly did an amazing job in that last fight. I was screaming my head off, bro, on your reads, and I'm not even gonna cap, bro. You did great. I can't stress it enough. Everyone did great. Just that last fight was just crazy, bro. I don't think anyone's gonna deny that. But you deserved it, man. Really nice man. Really nice dude. Chill motherfucker. Pardon. But yeah. Moving on. We did get to meet with Toshi. I was holding Virgil's phone, kind of like trying to entertain stream while Virgil went to go do VR. And I did see Toshi behind me while I was streaming. And I did tell the stream and Virgil before, I go, listen, bro, if I see Toshi, I'm turning the camera around to Toshi, because stream's gonna want to see Toshi, bro. And they did. And literally, like, I'm not even joking, maybe like 15-30 seconds after I said that, I turn around just to like look, and Toshi's just right there. So I just was immediately like, I'm out. Toshi, what's good? We just asked him questions. He did know who a lot of us were, actually. So that was really nice to know that, he knew who I was. He knew who Prof was. I believe he knew who Virgil was as well. I don't remember if I asked him that or if Virgil asked him that later. I, of course, just asked him if he knew who I was. Everyone kind of just asked their own thing, But he did know who I was. And he was honestly a really down-to-earth, very nice person. Felt very genuine. And you can tell he is just a Dragon Ball fan. Like, he is one of us. He just wants to see the game thrive. But yeah, he listened to a lot of our concerns. We did ask him questions about the game and certain bugs or issues that we were on our minds, the community's minds. And he answered whatever questions he could answer. And he ended up fighting a lot of us, actually. We asked Toshi, like, hey, do you mind if we get a fight in? He was absolutely for it. Actually, with my fight against Toshi, and this is how I know he's actually, like, a real one, right? He had to step away for something before my fight with him, and I was kind of just expecting, like, oh, maybe he'll forget. It's not a big deal, right? He's a busy guy, right? This is an event going on, and he's got to attend to certain things. And he comes back, he finds me, like, 10 minutes later, and he's like, hey, I owe you a fight. And so I was like, oh, shoot, okay. So Toshi honored our fight. That meant a lot to me. That he again is just one of us. He's just one of us. He's here to do it. He's doing his job. He's doing what he can, right? And he's just a fan, and he just wants to show that hey, like, we are listening to you guys, and the development team cares as much I guess as much as they can care, right? So yeah, shout out to Toshi for just being genuine, for real. So yeah, I did use my LF Gogeta Blue team, and I did hit the green card on Toshi. I'm sure I'll be pulling the clip up on here or something. If not, it's on my Twitter, @LitForGeeks. But yeah, I mean, dude, I'm just not over how chill Toshi was. Kai was there too. We got to meet Kai. Kai was very nice. They all took pictures with us. I can't stress enough how down to earth Toshi and Kai and everyone was. The entire staff of the event were really nice too. But yeah, enough of that. Let me go over just the overall event, or just what I would change if they decide to do this next year. The special pick rule. I'll start with that. That's my biggest thing, actually. The special pick rule seems very, it's just too RNG based, right? Like, if they want a competitive event, which this definitely did not feel quote unquote competitive, nor is the game really competitive. It's more of just like it's a gacha game, right? They're going to cater to the majority of the players, which are not top rankers. And we have top rank is just completely different from most of the player base. I would honestly just get rid of special pick overall and just let players, pick whatever teams they want to run. That's personally what I would do. It would kind of be boring because you're probably just going to end up seeing the same teams every fight. But if they do want to keep special pick, and they could make it work, they could do special pick still, but restrict it to certain tags, right? If they wanted to do saga tags or character tags. So they could, say the development team wanted to start, buffing up a tag in anticipation for a big celebration like the anniversary, right? And the anniversary is in literally 2 months, end of May. Say they wanted to start buffing up sagas from the movies again, right? Whatever. And on top, sagas from the movies and maybe Universe Survival Saga, right? Or Uni Rep, one of the two. They have this special pick tournament, a few months prior, and it's special pick, but only those 2 tags. And so when you go through the randomized selection of your characters, it'll pull from only those 2 tags. And so that way, your picks are going to be, it's not going to be as drastic and polarizing where, one person may get the newest featured boost Sparking, and then someone's going to get green Chi-Chi from like 3 years ago. At least there'll be some form of, okay, my team's not as bad, and I can maybe make it work. And I think that would be a lot better. So if the dev team is watching this, or anybody from the Legends team, could really consider it. I think it would be really cool. And it will make it still fun, but it would make the actual event feel more competitive, and you probably might see more people showing up for it. So yeah, there's that. I do want to say that I wish there was vendors selling merchandise there. When and I said this earlier, when I saw the trading cards, I was genuinely impressed with those cards, and it made me just want to start buying some. So if they had vendors there, just like selling some booster sets, I would have bought a few. And I'm sure there was a lot of people that would have done it. And I did talk to a few of the card game players, and they were like really nice. Like they were letting me hold their cards and like showing them to me and all that stuff. I still don't understand how the game works. Maybe I'll look into it a little bit, but as a collector though, they're definitely like very nice cards. So yeah, maybe for the next battle hour, get some vendors in there. People probably will spend money on merchandise 100%. So yeah, definitely, everyone in my group or not just my group, but just like, everyone that went there, I think it really showed how fun this event could be outside of just playing Legends. And I think it opened up a lot of eyes to people. And I think next year, if they do this again next year, which I hope they do, right? Because, we've had Battle Hour back-to-back. They should do a tournament again, just like they did this year. I think there'll be a larger attendance. I think a lot of people decided that, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should go. And yeah, just plan accordingly, guys, if you do decide that you do want to go to Battle Hour next year and just, like, meet up, hang out with people. Just plan ahead, and it's honestly very affordable to do so. Yeah, I would recommend going. It's definitely, and just being in Vegas is just an experience in its own. You have to look at it from a standpoint of outside of being there for a legend, for Dragon Ball Legends or Fighters or whatever you're going for. You're in Vegas, if you're of age to do certain activities, right, you are going to go out and experience things with your friends, and that was the real trip for me, just being with everybody, hanging out, going out. So yeah, if I had to rate Battle Hour as a whole, I'd give it an 11 out of 10. I enjoyed every second of it. It was very, very fun. I lost a lot of sleep, so I'm exhausted making this right now. I got home and like passed out after my flight, but I'm just like, my body's just still tired. So I'm gonna end it on this one. We should be getting an LF Zenkai announcement tonight. It is the 6th of March. So if there is not a LF Zenkai announcement as I'm recording this, I will be giving my feedback through Twitter. Maybe I'll just record a video tomorrow on it. I don't know. you know, we'll see. Obviously, I'll do a video when the LF or whatever unit actually Zen guys. But yeah. Hopefully it's Evo. I think CMZ has a potential chance for it, but it's probably just going to be Evo Vegeta. He's the most likely candidate. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Again, dev team, if you are watching this, thank you so much. I think, again, the player base really does appreciate you guys for what you do. Just keep, you know, we will keep giving our feedback on the game, and we will criticize things that we do want to criticize, because obviously the game's not perfect. There are things that we want to see changed or fixed. But we hear you when you say that you hear us. So thank you for that, and we will continue to do our best to understand that you guys are also doing your best. So thank you again, and I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope to see you guys at Battle Hour 2024. Peace.